Hi, hello, and welcome to the reunion of Castaway, the Tundra. Now, my name is Teddy Sharp, and I am going to be hosting this little reunion here. The torches are lit once again for tonight only. The rituals are done. Oh, God. Okay, so before we get started, this season, our show is sponsored by the fine folks at Plus One EXP. Head on over to plus1exp.com and use code Tundra to get 10% off any purchase, proceeds of which will go to benefiting this season's charity, Feeding America. Today is the last day that you can take advantage of this great deal. So I'll wait. Go on. Do it. Okay. You're taking too long. All right, we're going to move on. Now, thank you, the entire cast, for being here tonight. First, I'm gonna start off with a little, we're gonna shake off the nerves a little bit, and we're gonna talk about statistics. Now, most of you wouldn't have gotten as far as you did in the Tundra if you didn't get a little help from the audience. So let's, give them a little credit and see who got the most help. So the person with the most plus ones is Destiny, with 11 plus ones given by the audience. Close second, Dennis with 10. And person with the most conditions healed, do you want to take a guess? That's right, it's Dennis with 12. 12 conditions healed. And Aza at 10 conditions healed. And the person with the most secret advantages given by audience members was Destiny with 7. And second, Dennis with 6. And the top 3 most donated to players were Destiny, Dennis, and Aza. Also, the amount of times that the phrase "one could say" was uttered was too many for me to care to count. Now, why don't we just get right into it? I'm going to be asking these fine contestants, one winner, many losers, questions. And they're going to answer all the things that we might not know about these individuals yet. So, who do we start with? Tessa, let's start with you. Did you ever land on a cohesive plot line for Frosty Hands, Burning Hearts? And how much of that thrilling enemies to lovers novels is at all 100% original copyright do not steal?
Well, Teddy, it's funny that you mentioned that. I actually took a break from being on set of the film adaptation of my first ever book to share a little excerpt, if you'd like.
By all means, the floor is yours.
Beautiful. So, for all of the Tessans out there in the world, consider this a little preview of what's to come from my next novel. Davina shuddered as the cool mountain air brushed against her cheeks. Her face was flush, and she could feel the chill of the frozen wasteland she'd spent her life protecting from the cruelty of the Ice King seep deep into her bones. At the very least, the sharp cold consuming her granted her mind peace from the still bleeding wound she had been inflicted early that morning. She'd barely survived the encounter as she and the Ice King faced each other down at the base of a mountain. He had sent his forces after her, armed with blades enchanted with his wicked magic. Davina had heard the cry of the hunter first, the blade plunging deep within her. The hunter spoke with a low tone, almost a growl. "Your sacrifice to the Ice King will be honored, Davina." After twisting the knife, a second hunter rushed forward. Davina barely had an opportunity to wriggle free before a low rumble came from above. An avalanche. She could hear the shouts of the hunters, the thundering steps of hooves storming her way as they mounted their horses, but the primal instinct to survive took over her mind. Davina ran fast and hard despite the snow packing into the bottom of her boots. And just as she thought she was in the clear from the rage of the avalanche chasing her, she tripped on a shard of frozen debris. As she began to tumble, she felt the solid weight of a chiseled, frost kissed man grab her and pull her forward. He was cool to the touch, but pressed against his chest, she could feel the warmth of his pounding heart. Davina shuddered slightly, the pain of the stab wound catching up to her as adrenaline faded. She slowly lifted her head and met his piercing gaze. The Ice King. His breathing was low and heavy, as if he had sprinted here to save her, or perhaps he was just trying to finish her off while she was weakened. Davina broke out of his grasp before sprinting into the woods, and now, standing in this clearing, her small hands cradled her wound, but she couldn't stop thinking of his face. She felt rage and hot embarrassment, fought the chill she had let creep into her heart. It was time to end this. So as you can see, everything is clearly original.
Yes, I do
Clearly.
see that. Yeah, does any of that ring a bell, Chad?
We've been working pretty closely with Tessa's book on this, and all I can really say is our papers are in order.
Our papers are in order. Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Tessa.
Of course. You can pre-order the book everywhere that you buy books. In like a month or something, I'll figure it out.
Okay, in like a month or something, you'll figure
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
So figure it out.
Moving on. Why don't we ask a question of our winner, Deasia, or should I say Destiny?
Destiny's fine.
You are our Castaway, the Tundra winner. How does it feel to have won this season for your sister? And why did you feel the need to impersonate her in order to compete?
I was like, I feel awesome for winning it. And the only reason that I did it, like I said on the show, is she was sick and I took her space because they wasn't doing any substitution. So I had to be her to get on the show.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. And what are you doing with the winnings?
Like, obviously, I split it with her in our per agreement. But other than that, I just upgraded my whole PC studio.
What have you been cooking up?
Oh, I've been playing that new game, DC Rivals. It's been great. I was like, I'm thinking about starting a esports team with that soon. All women, ladies. If y'all want to sign up, I'm a great coach. I promise.
Well, good to know. If there are any gamer girls out there, then you know who to talk to.
At Destiny Cunningham, all social media.
Now, why don't we talk to a fan favorite here? Uh, Dave. A little producer told me that they actually put you on this cast on purpose so we wouldn't have to shell out a cool million and put it towards I'm sorry, I don't
Yes,
know how
that
they
is true.
redacted. Yeah, they redacted the teleprompter. I'm sorry. How do you feel having failed at the one thing you were designed to do? And can you give us a good reason to rebuild you?
Well, that's a really good question for you to ask, Teddy. I appreciate it. Failing at my one program purpose really did sting quite a bit. Um, that said, I did originally sell my body to Castaway Productions, and then they turned me into a metal shell of a man. So I felt trapped. And so the sweet release of death, bringing me out of that mechanical body and into my soul as its own thing, was pretty sweet. So ups and downs, I would say.
Not to interrupt, but so what I'm hearing, Dave, is that the wilderness freed you.
No. What I'm saying is I was trapped, and
And then
there
the
were some
wilderness freed your
upsides to
soul.
being murdered, but being murdered still sucked and really messed with my psyche.
Among other things.
Among
Yes.
other things. And well, if that messed with your psyche, how do you feel being back?
To be honest, right now I'm just really concerned that Shadowy Productions is allowed to do anything that they do.
But our papers are in order.
Yeah, you keep saying that, but it just doesn't feel like they are.
Oh no, trust me, they are. We have really good lawyers at Shadowy Productions,
Okay.
which you are probably abundantly aware of with the whole signing your soul away thing.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like a good deal at the time, and then there was like lots of like invisible ink in the contract, which I didn't know was legal, but
You'd be surprised what's legal for corporations.
They count as a person for tax purposes. Now, moving on, why don't we get to know somebody we don't know very well? Lori, I've been given a note by a Mr. Andrews to ask why you're the best and if you think you should return for another season. But I really actually want to ask you is, do you think you would even be here if Daddy didn't hold a spot for you?
Oh, well, I actually don't know about that because I did still apply and I went through the whole application process and then someone dropped out last minute and so they had me show up. But I who man, I'm trying to learn how to advocate for myself. I I don't know if I would have been the best, but I do think if I had been given another chance because I held my own through all the games and then at the end I just couldn't find clean water because me and Dennis were talking about birds and then two more of my teammates brought Dennis along with them to let Dennis redeem himself and didn't give me a chance. So I think if I was brought on for another season, I could really prove myself and show that I'm really passionate about Shadowy Productions and everything they do. And I love to see the way that they use innovation and technology to bring about the real bare bones of humanity. And I'm excited for any future shows that they are bringing.
Innovation, technology. That's
Looked
what
at
we're
Dave.
using. Well, does anyone have anything to say about not having given Lori a chance?
Interesting.
I think you would have been much better off on Team Rar.
I think so too, because I gave them the slogan, I got this, and they used it after voting me off brutally.
You came up with that?
I sure did.
Whoa,
Dang,
you
that's
guys are
pretty
fucked
low.
up.
That's pretty
Cold.
crazy. Also, I just learned that y'all can bring substitutes on the show. But
Yeah, that's really interesting to me.
that's pretty.
Yeah, if we're informed that someone is unable to perform, then we make the proper accommodations. But if we're never informed and
I'm-
other arrangements get made, well, then we just roll with it.
Right. So my email just got lost. That's
You
what I
have a
heard.
lot of emails.
Yes.
But somehow their papers are in order.
But the papers are in order.
Our papers
not the
are in order.
emails.
Our emails
The
are not
emails
paper.
are not in order.
Emails are not
Oh,
The
in order.
emails are
but
not in order.
The emails are not quite in order, but an intern was fired for it.
Look, Lori, if it makes you feel any better, what I learned being on the show week after week is that I got this didn't mean anything. So if it helps at all, everyone else just took that and just stopped.
I
on
was
it.
informed at the end of the competition that two of my own teammates were gonna put a knife to my chest. So that's kind of rich coming from Aza right now.
Oh,
Well-
let's talk about that.
That was before we got to know you, Dennis. And after
Okay.
we got to know you, what happened? We protected you week after week after week.
Yeah, and then you led me into the woods with a wolf and made me almost witness you kill Deasia.
No,
I'm sorry,
no.
Destiny.
I told you to leave. Destiny is the one that wanted you there, or wanted somebody there.
But you requested Dennis.
You requested me! I watched the
Because
tapes!
why would I bring Amber Lynn when Destiny and Amber Lynn have a alliance together? Do you take me for a fool?
Well, I'm still alive. So
Oh,
What
I'll come
happened
back.
when I left the
Right.
show?
Lori,
Oh
all
my
I'm saying
God,
is,
Amanda, it got crazy.
listen, maybe
Lori,
getting
I
voted
think it's
off
maybe-
early, Lori, wasn't the worst thing to happen to you,
Yeah.
considering everything else that happened since after you left.
Oh, all I
Yeah.
wanted was one more chance to prove myself, but you guys didn't grant that.
Whoa.
Well,
They could have
Don't
killed
work out
him.
so
Maybe
well
you
for
should have
any
killed
others.
Chet Cheddar.
I'm
What
just
was
here for
that
the
again?
ride.
I'm not gonna stop you. Well, speaking of what transpired, Aza, even your fellow team members seem to have second thoughts about the will of the wilderness after spilling blood or oil. Uh, what did it feel like to truly be in tune with the Tundra's wilderness? And do you feel an even stronger connection now that you've been added to its sacrifices?
What I said on the show was true and honest the whole way through, which is to say that being out there, it shows you, it gives you an opportunity to connect with who you really are. And that I took that opportunity and I felt it. And I was more me than I have ever been out there. And yes, I do feel more connected to it now that I'm a part of it as well. And I only want this only makes me want more to be able to enact the will of the wilderness again if I were given the opportunity. And I will say to the rest of Iagapis who feels perhaps a type of way about the actions that went on, I will remind you all that you all agreed to killing a member of Team Ursus. So
Fucked
please
up.
don't act so innocent. It was a four-way. The entirety of Iagapis agreed unanimously that this was what was going to happen. Not a single person was opposed.
Wow.
Agapis, is this
Interesting.
true?
To be fair, I got led again into the woods and kind of pressured into killing a bear. So maybe I got kind of bamboozled into it, but I did not feel great after the fact. Dave, I felt really fucked up about it.
Yeah,
That's not
I
what
did
happened.
notice that when the merge happened, you guys avoided talking to me, and then the first person from your team to talk to me murdered me.
I
To
will
be quite
say
honest,
there
feel
was
like the
no
whole crew was in on it.
there was
from my
no deceit,
perspective.
first of all, because we had agreed that we would kill one of Team Ursus, and there was a vote that was had on whether that would be Dave or Maddox. I'm sorry, Maddox. And ultimately,
Straight to him.
well, sorry, as in like I don't know if he knows that yet, and this would be the reveal for him. But there was a vote that was had amongst Iagapis about who it would be. It was a democratic decision that was made, and if anybody felt that it was not something they wanted to do, they could have said so, and they didn't. And I think it's quite convenient to put that on me.
Just out of curiosity,
Specifically said,
what
I
was
do not
the-
have the skin of a killer, Bella.
What was the vote turnout? Was it like a 3-1? Was it 4 people wanting to kill Dave? Like,
And also, did anyone want
I
to
tried
kill
defending you,
Amanda? Because
Dave.
I'm feeling a little left out here.
Oh, you were already gone by then, so you weren't an
It's
option,
like,
Amanda.
I'm very
But-
grateful that I was not part of the
I just
vote.
wanted to ask.
Do you want to die? Sorry, continue.
I don't know what death is, so
Would you like to find out?
maybe.
Okay, we'll talk afterwards.
dirty caricature.
Right after. Anyway, why don't
To answer Dave's question, it was a pretty split decision on who we were trying to kill, all right?
I'm very
We were
curious
hemming
about
and
how
hawing
B
about it a
felt
lot.
about the whole operation, because I know we're
Yeah,
putting a
what?
lot of heat on Ozza, but she's a dead woman. B's alive.
Yeah, if there's anyone who can
Wow,
actually
during Black
get
History Month?
criminally
Crazy.
indicted.
Crazy. Honestly, I felt completely indifferent to it. The group first voted that we kill Maddox. I suggested we kill Dave because he's way too fucking good in those mittens. That was a problem.
The
Sorry,
mittens?
Dave. It was the mittens,
Too
and your heart of
dexterous.
gold.
Well then, speaking of B, why don't we cut to the chase? Who do you work for? And what was your actual goal in Castaway?
That's such a fun question. My goal in Castaway was to try to be a replacement for Chet, and that didn't work out.
Sure didn't.
I'll get you next time.
I guess we'll see what's the next time then, B.
Well, you better watch out, Chad. People are coming for your crown.
Oh, that's part of the gig, unfortunately. My predecessor got, but I've managed to make it 2 seasons, so we're gonna try and make it a 3rd.
Very fair, but you better watch out. I'm in the big box tonight.
As you should be, Teddy.
All right. Who do we talk to next? Why don't we take a break from the drama a little bit? Amanda, Indiana, we found out that you are an artificial intelligence pop star personality being holographically projected to interact with the physical world as best you can. So
Isn't that
tell
neat?
us, it is pretty neat. But after getting a taste of life with like friendships and party games, have you left your show life behind, or have you found the best of both worlds?
Oh my gosh, you know my music. Also, Teddy, such an honor to meet you.
Of
I, I did apply. I was made for Castaway first to win, but we know how that, we won't speak about that. But after getting a taste of both worlds, I must say, I did feel some warmth of that hug and wondered about what happens in Tessa's books and Maddox's movies. And I wish I could have a little bit of that normal human life, but that wasn't what I was made for. And maybe next season I'll have better luck.
Maybe. If you don't die first.
Well, I'm kind of excited on what that's about. My programming knows of it, but I haven't felt it. Don't worry, Amanda. If your programmers can figure it out, that role in my film is still available for you. I must say, Teddy, there's some exciting things after this. I am grateful for Castaway for getting to experience the cold and friendship and not drama because I left before that, but this is fun.
I do love it. That's why I'm here. Well, big things coming up for you. Speaking of which, Maddox, if I can talk to you for a bit. So curious. Who are these princesses you seem to have picked up after the show? And from one spiritually attuned individual to another, were you hoping to collect some of the contestants while you were competing?
Yeah, thank you for your question, Teddy. Yeah, being alone has always been a challenging aspect of my life. Being on screen, surrounded by people who saw you as a product instead of a person, can really mess you up, especially when that happened at, I was 12, I believe, when I was starring in the high school CEO. So when I lay dying underneath that tree, all I could think of was wishing that somebody else was there with me. And that wish kept me going. So, do I wish more of the contestants were trapped with me? Yes and no. I've gotten to know some of them and I've appreciated their companionship. But as you can see, I've collected a few more, and even my manager, he was the one that you know suggested that I clean myself up. We're going on a soundstage in front of an audience, so put away the neck heads and put on some makeup, put on get a suit together. But um, and you did speak about the princesses, and that was uh, a fandom and a part of my life and people that have supported me no matter what, and I continue to appreciate them and appreciate their support. I did have a letter that I wrote to them, or at least a letter that, excuse me, that I remember reading that I'd love to read for them, if that's okay, Teddy.
By all means, the floor is yours.
So, not a letter I wrote, it was a letter by Vita Sackville West to Virginia Woolf during their time of divorcing their partners and that wanting to be together. And I thought about it a lot when I think about the princesses, and it goes, it is quite stark. I miss you even more than I could have believed, and I was prepared to miss you a good deal. So this letter is really just a squeal of pain. It is incredible how essential to me you've become. I suppose you are accustomed to people saying these things, but I shan't make you love me any more than by giving myself away like this. But oh my dear, I can't be clever and standoffish with you. I adore you too much for that. Too truly. You have no idea how standoffish I can be with people I don't love. I have brought it to a fine art. But you, my princesses, have broken my defenses, and I don't really resent it. And please forgive me for writing such a miserable letter.
Wow. Powerful stuff. It almost makes me feel something.
Yeah. And I am here on the soundstage for now. But you out there in the crowd, you know where to find me.
Thank you so much for sharing, Maddox. Speaking of love and loss of love, Dennis, did you really apply to be on the show to demonstrate to your students that anything is possible? Or was this a desperate attempt to create distance between you and your wife while your divorce lawyer handled the heavy lifting back home?
You know, had a lot of time to think about what happened in the Tundra, and while I'm not at liberty to say a lot of things that have gone on in my personal life since returning from the Tundra. Thank you to the fine lawyers at Kleinfeld and Kleinfeld for reminding me to keep my mouth shut. Appreciate that. It was an attempt to demonstrate to Grace that, maybe I was capable and cool and just as flashy as her stuck up, skinny little Pilates instructor, Chris. But I think I think at some point it did turn into a good lesson for the kids in my 8th grade class. I think putting your mind to it a lot of the times and having the mindset of believing in yourself and being confident in the decisions that you make along the way I think it does go to show that if you stay true to yourself, keep your heart focused in the competition, and who knows, maybe you'll wind up in the top 3.
It is true. You were in the top 3. Do you think that you demonstrated that determination and that focus when you nearly pissed yourself in front of a wolf?
Maybe. Maybe it did.
Dennis, how do you feel about being the star of a love triangle novel? You win this
Yes, I'll
time.
get you. I'll get you in contact with my lawyers about that. I'm not. I want to make sure it's okay with them before I make any decisions.
Excellent. I pay very well.
I'm glad she's
Fantastic.
asking
Thank you, Tessa.
permissions now.
Wait, you
Makes
pay?
Anyway,
Well, good to get a little insight on that, which leaves us with Amberlynn. We are so used to seeing you in the background, but you made it all the way to the final 2.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Yeah. So, how did it feel to be in the spotlight? And is it everything you expected it to be?
Little terrifying, but kind of cool, kind of cool. Maybe I should start advocating for myself a little bit more, but that's also kind of scary. So like maybe I'll try for like middle roles.
Such
I think
as?
those exist. I don't know yet. I kind of just thought of it on the spot. It's a thing, right? You know, like it's like when there's like the top billed people and then there's like the people that are like in the middle of the cast and then there's the background actors all the way at the bottom. I'll be like somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, you have like 2
Dreaming big.
lines. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. You know what? Let's go for 10.
10 lines. Big
I
goals.
could do it. I know. Thank you. Double digits, baby. Double digits.
I believe in you, Amberlynn.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Yes. Having some technical difficulties. Okay, we're good.
Live TV.
Now, question for everybody. Is there anything that you would have done differently? Is there anything you wish you would have done differently?
Not get sick.
Yeah, walk us through that, Teddy. What would you have done that week?
I was chilling.
We had
Destiny-
a really cozy view from the slaughter, but you were just in that tent.
Oh, you mean Destiny?
You mean Destiny.
What did I say?
Teddy.
You said Teddy.
It's okay. I know I'm on everyone's mind.
I'm sorry. I
would
saw
you-
through like the many dimensions of time and saw a person who sounds just like you playing someone named Teddy. Destiny, what would you have done differently?
Well, I was like, hopefully would have been around to like win something at the auction, keep the team close as much as I could, and like mingle even more before everything went crazy.
I would like to say I wish my makers and managers made me able to touch things. I don't know if a hologram was the best for some of these challenges. No one told me I was going to have to like pick up an ore and row or like make an igloo. I just don't think this season was thought out for me personally. So like maybe they could have made me dexterous with mittens. Like why did Dave get that? Dave, whoever made you, can they talk to me?
You gotta talk to Chet about that.
Oh, I'm just one of the executive.
Actually, I think your
producers on
best
Castaway.
connection is Lori over there.
Hello.
Great. I'm gonna have my people call your people.
Yeah. What I'd do differently is be on Team Ursus, probably.
Rar.
We would have loved to have you, Lori.
Oh.
Go ahead, yeah, give us a
you.
roar. Give us a roar.
Okay.
Roar. Yeah, Lori's one of us.
Yeah.
We got her.
Yay. I am going to trademark and patent I got this for shadowy production. So make sure you don't use that in any of your guys' merch or books or anything like that, or we will sue you. We do have very good lawyers.
I respect that.
We'll double check the paperwork.
Lori, after the show, remind me to talk to you about your copyright lawyers. I think I'd like to meet them.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
We love connecting people here at Shadow Productions.
It's all about connections.
Yeah, I think if
life to unlife.
if I have any regrets, I think it's not taking more time to build more connections for inspiration purposes, of course. You learn so much after the fact once you're on the bench. So I definitely would have liked to have been more up close and personal, I think.
Yeah, actually, can I follow up on that? I think if from the get-go, I would have liked to hug everyone. If I knew what a hug felt like from the beginning, I think it would have improved my life and also made me go farther.
Yeah.
We'll talk. We'll get it worked out, okay? We have to be able to let you hug people.
See, I told you, Laura would be the best person.
Hello.
I think similarly to Tessa, I think I also would have liked to make a little bit more connections with the other team first before jumping to harsh reactions with the remainder of I got this. So
What was that you just said?
you maybe shut up, Lori.
Okay, we'll be in contact.
I feel maybe if we had a little bit more time to know everyone else, maybe my heart would have been in a different spot instead of being very headstrong with the foxes. But who's to say things would have turned out more differently than it did? And I'm sorry, Dave, that it came down to this. It should not have. I should have thought more clearly, but in the height of competition, shit
No,
happens.
I get it. Sometimes you're in a competition and you're like, yeah, you guys should kill the other guy.
I think that's normal. As an esports person, I don't think I ever thought about killing my teammates. In real life.
Well, I
Dennis
think
is
that's
what's
why
gonna
you
make a
won.
great romance
Destiny.
protagonist.
Now, I got to
Appreciate that,
interject on
Tessa.
that, Dave, because Destiny very much so did kill someone.
I did because I had to.
Yeah, and she enjoyed it. We have it on camera.
Yeah, Lori, we're gonna talk about something in that episode. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
What was it?
We'll talk later.
Okay.
But your lawyers with my lawyers.
Okay.
Everyone's got lawyers. Well, for those of you who, wish you had made more connections, do you think that maybe this was not the place to make connections?
Absolutely not. 100%
No.
not. I think if anything, I probably should have signed up at a community center like social group or something like this instead of just rashly going on a competition for $1 million in a show that is now called the Death Era.
Well, I have to interject. I think as I found somebody I really like on the show. So not.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, thank you.
We couldn't show all of that.
I was like,
Sorry about the table.
sorry about the tree.
Y'all nasty.
Yeah, we usually have. That's usually reserved for other shows that we have, but anything can happen in the Tundra.
Anything can
So
happen.
you don't
in the
want to go into
Tundra.
the dressing room.
Anything has happened in the Tundra.
So many things.
I couldn't have asked for a better place to be quite honest. I've never written this quickly in my life.
Well, you had plenty of time sitting on the bench, so
It's true. It's true. And I got to live, so
I did
Barely.
too.
Just barely.
yes, but I was rescued, so
Yeah, apparently you were lucky. If you stayed any longer, then things were getting dicey for everyone.
some things are just meant to be, and my survival and the success of my next novel, well, Pre-orders in a month and a half, roughly.
Month and a half
Month and
now?
a half now.
Month and a half now.
Book production, it moves in strange ways.
Especially when you do everything yourself.
It does sound a bit exhausting. Now,
This experience has made it very easy.
does anybody, well, anybody who's still alive, have any plans for after this? Where has this experience taken you? What's the trajectory of your life now?
Well,
just
at
learn
the
how to play video
hotel,
games.
I love the free Berlin. At the hotel,
Thanks.
after I promptly got voted off, Tessa and Lori did help me set up my phone to get TikTok downloaded. So maybe at some point y'all will find Dennis Miller doing some bird calls on the web. Who knows? I've heard it's a pretty lucrative and untouched market for some reason. So
Oh, really? Wow. Could you show us one right now?
no.
Oh, go ahead, Dennis. I've already shared it across all of my platforms, so you may as well. People will see it eventually anyway.
All right, fine. I'll try one. Mags, the real person, is not good at bird calls, so this is gonna be bad. I'm so embarrassed now. God damn it.
You know, and look.
I don't know. Like one.
That's a bird if I've ever heard one.
It's the best bird ever. What is it?
Pigeon.
I don't know. Probably a pigeon.
That was a Tundra exclusive bird.
It was the white bird.
The white that was
You-
like pecking at the skeletons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You heard it here first, folks. So I assume you'll be able to follow Dennis on TikTok at some point in the future.
D Mills. Follow him. Find him.
I will say, Teddy, I will be wherever my makers decide to input my program, but I really hope it's in Tessa's future books, movies. Maybe I can have a cameo on Dennis's TikTok apparently. Like I'm open for some new roles. Maybe ones less cold and with more hugs. Just say the word and I'm there. As long as you don't mind like a little bit of plagiarism in my performance, then I'll be there.
Amanda, if you don't mind the cold a little bit, I can promise hugs if you'd like to dub the audiobook when it releases.
Oh. Yes, I'm
Now,
really
now
good
wait
at
a minute.
voices.
I have lawyers.
Right. Well, I mean, I think
Hmm.
creatively speaking, Chet, you as the Ice King and Amanda as Davina, I mean, think of the possibilities, the downloads.
Come on, Chet, take a break from hosting. Let's see those acting chops.
I can't turn it off, Amanda. You know that better than anybody.
Also, better you could just audition to be in the video game DC Rivals. There's over 120 characters inside, so there's so many characters you can hug. You can have a hug emote.
I have so many possibilities after this. A hug emote? What's a emote?
It's a button that a player hits on the keyboard, and you do that action. So there's a button. It's the hug button, and then you hug all the characters while you're
Oh my
fighting.
gosh, I have so much to learn after this.
I didn't learn anything from this experience, and I haven't grown at all. So I am excited to see what comes next.
Well, or you learned that you became a bear now.
That's true. I did join Team Ursus.
Now, I think we do one more question before we maybe take a break, chat. This is just a little fun hypothetical. If you could do this all over again, but you got to choose the environment you got dropped into, what do you think you would fare best in?
How about an all-inclusive resort?
That's not a survival environment.
I
Oh,
like
is that
the
what
way you
this
think.
is? You have to survive tummy aches from eating all of the free food. You have to survive sunburns from laying out by the pool. This is all stuff that I've heard. So I think it could be swapped into it just sounds a little more fun, I think.
Virtual reality. We all get the VR headset.
And
Trapped
then
in a
you guys can
studio.
feel what it's like to be me.
Yeah.
We could maybe do that. Maybe we can figure something out where, if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Well, I didn't say all that, but
Oh, I love that.
Well, yeah, you're not in charge.
Can I say that I would like to have been dropped in the tundra without psychopathic murderers?
Well,
Well,
when we cast these shows, we never know who the psychopathic murderer is going to wind up being, but
But there's
sometimes the
always
wilderness
one.
changes you.
Okay.
Rumor has it there was more than one this season.
Well, yeah, there was 2 people that psychopathically murdered me. You would be.
Oh,
Maddox
well,
tried to
That's
kill
2.
Tessa. Well, we don't know that.
and I
Wait,
watched
really?
the footage
Yeah.
back, and
What?
Dave, I do remember that I heard in one of the episodes you saying with Destiny and Maddox that you were going to kill us, the Iagapis
That
folks.
must have been a typo.
I
don't think
saw a
he heard
clip
that.
of that in one of the episodes.
How do you do
A
typos with
typo.
words you verbally speak, Dave?
Hey, listen,
It's
it
called
happens.
artificial intelligence, Dennis.
Oh, I know about that.
Get woke. Living in an age of technology, guys. I'm a robot cyborg man ghost, okay? You think they're gonna fake what I said?
we do not alter.
Fingers like a cat.
Rar.
We don't alter any footage, but we do support all of our contestants that are a ghost in the shell. Okay.
And we wish them well in their next endeavors.
Okay. Well, if you're looking for a resort, that's a different show. That's something entirely different. So thank you for not answering the question, actually. I think we're gonna go to break now, and we'll be back with some more questions.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Teddy. We'll be back in 10 minutes. think we're just waiting on Teddy.
Well, while we're waiting,
Hmm.
Chet, we
Yeah.
have like a routine we wanted to show you. You know, we always talk
Really
about
neat.
like show them, babe.
All right.
Oh, does it involve Dave too?
No, but it involves basic stunts.
Yeah.
You are pretty good at those. Yeah, what's
I
up? What do you
am.
want to show me? I think
That's
we still have
going
some
to
time.
be a 16, and I'm going to add all 5 of my plus ones.
To
make it a
successfully do a
21.
stunt? What stunt are you
Yes.
doing?
I'm tackling you to the ground while also going, yeah.
Ah, of course. And what was that total you rolled?
21.
Well, that beats an 11.
It sure does.
Amber Lynn, when you tackle Chet Cheddar to the ground, what exactly are you doing there? Describe it very slowly. Apparently,
So-
we have hit an ad, and I'm going to very briefly vamp while there's an ad. So maybe you're
I
watching
can
this
totally
and there
do
isn't
this.
an
No,
ad.
don't worry about it.
And
Okay.
we're just kind of.
So, Amber Lynn is pretty quick, actually. So she's going left and then she's going a little bit right, and she's kind of making sure to dodge all of the cameras while also giving a little, smile, because you always have to know where the cameras are, even as a background actor. Actually, one could argue, even
argue.
more so as a background actor, knowing where those cameras are, very, very important. And also not wanting to unplug anything, despite being perhaps a little clumsy. And while doing this, she's just going to get the perfect footing so she'll get enough of air and then just pounce, making that sound effect.
Well, with the ad appearing to be over, Amber Lynn, describe to me how you kill Chet Cheddar
Well, with the help of Destiny.
with the help of
Yes.
Destiny.
I'm just here to tackle.
I'm here to stab.
Oh, well, then you have to make a contested roll against Chet then.
So I rolled my D12 first, and I rolled an 8. Did
Well,
Did-
I
oh,
rolled a
did-
12.
And then I will use my advantage because it's a failed roll to switch it to a D20 now.
There you go. And I roll a D20. You got to beat a
You know,
12.
and I rolled a nat 20.
Wow. I guess that's the only way to
And I
truly
use all the
take
plus
out.
ones I have.
Thank you, gracious donors who've been at it
25.
all season. All right, Destiny, you have killed before. You're going to do so again. How do you kill Chet Cheddar?
Well, if the wilderness calls upon me. Hearing the whispers that the last challenge hasn't finished yet, and it has to kill the host, and they have to do its bidding, and then stabs over and over until you look like Swiss cheese in Destiny's eyes.
Well,
Whoa.
funny you should say Swiss cheese of all things, Destiny. Because as was well established on Castaway the Island, when one Chet falls, another is always eagerly waiting in his place. You see 2 interns run to a back room. You see a door open, and you see a different hatted man come out
Kill him
of that
again.
back room, and he looks to the camera and says, "Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a new era of Castaway. I will be your host from this point forward, Chet Swiss, and I will be hosting The Woods. And I think Teddy's back. Hello, I'm hosting that.
Yes. Well, Swiss, you're not hosting this.
Oh, you're so
no.
right. I'm so sorry. I'll go back to being out of character.
Amanda Indiana had switched to Chet Cheddar, ready to like take on the role with too many fingers, and then sees another Chet steps in and fades back to Amanda Indiana. I could
Lori
do
is
okay.
gone. Lori has run away.
Now with a new Chet for the next season, I would like to talk to not our characters but our players. So, I have this question for everybody, so I'd love to just go down, whoever would like to answer. What was your game strategy going into this show? And also, what inspired your characters and the decisions that they made?
I
Ooh,
actually have an answer for this. In season 1 of The Circle, there's a person on it named Shuby, and he is just the friendliest little muffin and just is so sweet. And I wanted to kind of embody that because he is also very fucking anxious. So I wanted to like combine that with a lot of Twilight lore for some fucking reason because I love a bit, and then I made it my mental skill. So that was kind of my strategy, was kind of just, you know, literally committing to that and that bit. And friendship.
Truly committed. The bit and friendship.
Wait,
It's
can
good
I
strategy.
follow up a question, Jenna? Did you have a big secret for Amber Lynn?
Yes, all of her scenes were actually cut in Twilight.
The big twist revealed. She was never in the movie at all.
R.I.P.
You can see like the corner of the back of her head in one split scene, but that's it.
Listen,
However, she
sometimes
does
it-
have a twin with some scenes in Twilight, which is very funny now knowing Deja and Destiny's secret.
Sometimes
And
the
that
secret
they made
is
out
you're a
on a table.
robot who's been built by production, and sometimes the secret is you're lying about the movie you say you were in.
The quarterback of her head was in it
Oh, my apologies.
for a second.
Yeah, Deja did her makeup for that corner thing.
So that is her secret.
Love it.
What was the
What
original
other
question again?
strategies did y'all have coming into this?
So I think. Oh no, you can go. You can go, man. Tori.
Thanks, Bags. When I heard about Castaway, I was like, ooh, okay, Tori as a person is really competitive and likes to win, and also likes to be liked. So I need to create someone I'd be okay with dying and okay with being voted off. So let me create a character who I'm okay with not being in there. And I was like, what should we have less of? AI. What if that was the
true.
twist? And then I was like, okay, what if I was just like horribly plagiarized pop star? And as someone who grew up with Disney Channel, I was like, Hannah Montana, pixel perfect. Like, let's make it a hologram. Grant, can I do this?
We had a lot of conversations behind the scenes about how Amanda was going to operate. And sometimes we get a character where we have to invent rules. And we came up with one where if someone vocally says, I'm going to try and kill Amanda Indiana, we have to have them make a mental roll because she has a battery pack you can stab.
Wild.
There were
That's
cords you could
wild.
trip on. You could put water on my battery pack. There was ways for me to actually quote unquote die.
Mm-hmm.
That's very fun.
Yeah.
That implies
So-
that there's like physical aspect, like corporeal aspects to Amanda, though.
Yes. Of computer
to
parts
say?
and battery packs.
Interesting. Interesting.
I'll tell you, we probably won't use that twist ever again.
I'm just imagining Amanda is actually like that TV that gets wheeled around in elementary schools to show you
Yeah.
videos.
The AV card.
Yes, that's
hell
Amanda. It's just an AV cart being rolled around the tundra.
I can never be
That's
too far
so
from the
funny.
production team because one of them is controlling my hologram.
I will say, like, the minute Grant approached me about getting on Castaway, I was like trying to think of like what sort of like reality TV trope I wanted to pull off. And like there were a few rolling around, and it's kind of funny because at first I was also leaning towards a romantasy writer, and then I found out what Anna's plan was, and I'm actually really glad for both of us that I was just like not going full gas on that one.
Can I tell you, Max? 3 different players pitched romantasy
That's
author.
insane. Well, like
Yeah.
part of me was just
Funny.
like, oh, heated rivalry is like a huge thing. Like that'd be really funny if I just like like exactly what like Tessa's plan was, like just coming on here for inspiration. But then I also kind of just thought, like, what loser would want to sign up for a show like this? And then just someone who just desperately wants to prove themselves and to seem cool. So I was like, all right, like, I'll come up with the most cringe fail millennial asshole I can think of. And at first it was just gonna be Dennis pleading to the audience and like throwing around buzzwords and shit like that, trying to seem cool. But then like episode 1 I got in there and I was just like, oh wait, no. Everyone on my team's super cool and I want to like support them and like cheer them on. And you know, if like Dennis gets voted off early, like, or he dies, like I'm fine. Like at least he was there as like a little support role. So like him feel like filling in as like team dad, I was just like, that's like a half decent like avenue to kind of fill in there. I don't honestly think I would have done anything different with Dennis. I'm like weirdly surprised at how far he made it considering everything that happened and ending almost every single episode on a D6 or a D4. Here we are.
Yeah, I mean, Dennis was very popular. As the statistics show, you had a lot of support.
I begged on the internet for donations every single fucking week.
I mean, truly,
And
shout
that's how
out
you do
to
it.
the
Yeah.
a
Grassroots.
lot of folks from Streaming Rainbow really showed out for
Yeah.
Mags.
I love
I-
my friends.
I love you,
I
Shout
like
out to
saying it every
Rainbow.
year, but it's fun to pull people from all corners of the scene because people will really show out for their friends and they get a cool opportunity. Same thing happened with the This Could Get Dicey crew the past 2 seasons. That community really showed out to support their pals. So you know, if you have, listen, pander, use your resources, beg.
Pander.
I did. And I will do it again. And I will do it again.
People really showed out
I
for
do it
Taylor
again,
and
too.
And I'll
Ozza
do
and
it
everybody.
again.
I have a story with Taylor that I would really like to share.
By all means.
So I was like, Taylor,
Please.
I'm gonna heal one of Destiny's conditions. You tell me when you need it. And after I was taking a break from a stream to do Castaway, and then I got voted off the first session. And so they were like, well, story-wise, we can't bring your character back yet. So then I had weeks of nothing on Wednesdays. And then it was finally, I was finally going to be there on stream. And and in that game, there was a good 90 minutes of my character not being there while you guys were doing Castaway. And I was like, great, like anytime, Taylor, I can do this. And it was right when the DM was like, and then my character's name, you wake up. Describe to us like this beautiful scene that we've been building towards, and I was getting my PayPal verification code. Oh yeah, for sure.
I messaged Abby all caps, say, help me.
Help me.
Help me.
Was it 2
And
weeks
then
ago? Was it
I
2 weeks
typed
ago?
up, I'm after you healed me. I'm dying.
I'm dying. And I was like, Taylor, you get
Let
the
that
one.
be a lesson
You
to
get the
Alia.
one.
Don't stream during Castaway.
Don't do it.
Don't even think about it.
It was so
Don't
funny.
think about it.
But
watch us.
my strategy was pretty simple. I went into session 0. Grant said we're gonna roll stats, and I rolled the lowest possible numbers you could for both stats. And I was like, this has to inform my character in every way because she has to be so incompetent. And so I messaged Grant and was like, do we have like a creator of Castaway yet? And he was like, no. And I was like, great, I'm going to make the creator of Castaway, and I am a Nepo contestant. And we're going to see how far a completely incompetent character can get. And I was very shocked how well I rolled during the games portion of the beginning, and was like, oh, okay, we'll see. But it was definitely a character that was like, okay, it would be funny if the secret got out, and would be funny if the secret didn't get out. Because I didn't want to be like, oh man, I made this big old backstory for a character and it never got revealed. It was like, yeah, she's a Nepo baby. Like,
Love Lori.
Maybe one
Justice
day
for
I'll
Lori.
use
Justice
that
for Lori.
character you invented for something.
Do it.
It's in the lore.
Terrifying.
The
It's in the
lore.
lore now.
It's in the lore.
It's in the lore. I told Gwen about it and everything.
Yeah. That means it's canon.
It's
Don't
canon.
say anything to me if you don't want it to be canon.
If I could talk about like my decision with Deasia and Destiny. Because at first, what I was going to present was I was going to play two people at the same time because I love Big Brother.
Oh.
Because I love Big Brother so much, and they had a twin twist. So each twin had to switch places in the confessional every time until they reached jury hounds, and then both of them was came into the game. Obviously, I didn't want both of them to be in the game or anything like that. But also, I got stressed of myself. I was like, I would have to keep notes about what each of them knew and what didn't know, and had to play it like that. So I was like, I can't do that no more.
That's
But I did
crazy.
want the person to be like the fake other person. So I was like, I'm gonna go by stats of what I rolled. So if it was higher physical, it was gonna be Deasia would be Destiny, and if it was mental was higher, obviously what presented here today is how that happened, the decision. So I would have either brought my fake esports girl, or I would have brought my makeup influencer and fake makeup influencer.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then and then as Grant knows, I did everything on the character sheet and like the who are you and all that stuff, and I put too many flaws on myself that handicap.
Hey, it worked. You won. So
I won, but I was like, dang, I could have betrayed even more, but I couldn't. I'm loyal to my deals. Is the one thing I put down was stay loyal to deals if physical contact happened. So if you made a deal with me and I hugged you or shook your hand, I'm stuck on that. So I could never betray in Berlin to the end because we hugged, and I said I would never vote you off.
Which makes Taylor, I think canonically, Riley, if you're out there, the first Castaway player to actually use the flaws section.
Like, who are you? I was like, I'm loyal to deals. It made physical content.
Hannah, do you want to talk about Oz's big plan and your game?
Sure. Yeah. So it's kind of funny how I got onto Castaway because I wasn't super even familiar with the show, but when I got tapped for it, I actually am just a really big reality TV like competition show fan, and I want to be on one. So my dream is to just be. I think Korean variety TV shows are so fun, and they do things that Western shows just don't do. If I could just be a regular on one of those, that would be my career. Anyway, I love them, and I'm a huge fan. So anyway, I posted a thing at one point, I think, about The Circle specifically. And I was lamenting how they were doing some really silly strategy moves and how I disagreed and how if I was on it, I could play it better. And Grant saw that post and then DM'd me and was like, hey, so obviously I can't put you on The Circle, but I have this show. Do you want to be on it? And so I came in kind of wanting to like live out my like fantasy of being on a reality game show. And then during session 0, oh, also for context, my favorite characters or people on those shows are always the villains. They're always the ones who play the game like brutally and strategically. Those are always my favorite people every season. So
You
I
don't
wanted
say,
to be
Hamna,
that.
you don't
Yeah,
say.
I'm with you, Hamna. I'm with you.
yeah, I'm like they're playing the game.
They're
so-
playing the game.
they're playing the game. So that's what I was gonna come in and be. And then we got to session 0, and I honestly didn't really have an idea for like what I wanted to play. I was just like, like I'll come up with something for a character. But then Grant was like, seasons 1 and 2 have been really like pacifist, like friendship is magic kind of seasons. Like it would be nice if we had more PvP and more deaths for season 3. And I said, oh, okay, bet, heard. I will grant that wish. Grant that wish. And then I'd been watching Yellow Jackets recently, and so that became my inspiration, especially with the tundra setting, like it being winter and everything. So I went to Grant and I was like, can you do a safety check with everybody to like just be real like sure that this would be okay for me to play? And my inspiration for my character is Lottie Matthews from Yellow Jackets. If anyone's familiar with the show, I basically played Lottie in this game.
Even your name is a nod to Lottie, right?
Even my name, literally every detail about this character is just Lottie Matthews. Like my character's name is just Lottie Matthews, but like in Arabic, basically. Because I always like to I'm Muslim, and so I like to make my characters that way as well. And yeah, so my strategy coming in was just to be Lottie, was to be really into the wilderness, to convince other people that the wilderness is real and that we should worship it and give it what it wants. Because in the show, they do like ritualistic killings, and then they cannibalize each other as a way to survive out in the wilderness. And that was gonna be my whole strat basically. It's unfortunate that Dave ended up being an android, so I couldn't cannibalize you. But if you were a person, that would have happened.
Never got to
At
eating
that point in
people.
time.
Wild sentence.
Yeah, I
Wild
regretted that
sentence.
once the murder happened. I was like, it would have been better if I wasn't a robot.
If you weren't a robot, that secret would have come out at that point. But you weren't. I was like, okay, it's okay. Next kill.
Dave is a
But then I didn't get
robot.
a next
Maddox
kill.
is a ghost in a
Yeah,
sleeping bag.
literally.
I can't eat any of these guys.
Yeah, no, literally.
I
Truly,
love
you got put in
Lottie
a
so
corner.
much. That's why I love Ozza so much.
Lottie is great.
Speaking of the wilderness, another thing where a player made a pitch to me for their character, and we had to invent a rule. I think we pulled Ozza into like a producer meeting, like immediately when that session 0 ended, and we're like, okay, so here's what we're thinking. Let's make sure we're in line on this. And Hamna gave us blatant permission. Like, she thinks the wilderness is going to give her favors, whether or not it does, and whether or not it has to involve Ozza, I leave up to you guys. And we all like immediately looked at each other like, oh, it's for everyone, right? Like, unquestionably. Because A, it makes it more fair from a gameplay standpoint, but also B, it makes it poetic if they do finally kill Ozza.
Which I was really hoping that the producers would decide that it like applied to everybody, because I really wanted to see someone else kill someone else, like without me being involved, and like see the wilderness like give them a gift. And that would have been really cool. Like, I'm so sad, Ross, that you didn't get to actually kill
Dude.
Tessa, because it would have happened. It would have happened. It would have triggered.
It was so close. Yeah, that was super unfortunate.
Speaking of people who came into the game with an agenda, Ross.
Yeah. So, Grant, I was like looking back at our Discord chats. I think it was like August 7th or something.
Yeah, that would have been around the time for sure.
Of the previous one ended. And he's like, "Welcome," and I'm like, "I have an idea." Like literally the next day. And this was even before any of the conversations, because like the previous 2 seasons were incredible because there was a lot of like everybody maneuvering, which is really cool, but then keeping this this level of like civility, which I think is like hard to do when you're maneuvering. So like I really applaud the 2 previous seasons. And then my reaction to that was that the game isn't a death game until somebody like tries to kill somebody else. Like Kendo dying was unfortunate, but like it was, or Kendo's character, but like
Kendo's death was on Kendo.
Yeah.
To be clear, Leo died. Kendo's fine.
Yeah.
No,
Kendo's fine.
okay.
Leo's death is on Kendo, actually.
Yeah, of course.
I did not kill
I'm
Kendrick
dead.
Smith from Tales Get Told. I wanted that clear.
Despite what happened last night.
Yeah. But yeah, I immediately messaged Grant. I was like, I want to cause either as much death as possible, or to give everybody the tools to kill each other. Because I realized one character can maybe kill 1 or 2 people, but if I set up tools for everybody to kill each other, then we can get a total party wipe. So my goal, my success, was for everybody to die. So like that was like the goal for me this season. And hence like the poison thing. I remember chatting with somebody outside of the game, and like, I want to plant as many bombs, and they thought it was literal bombs, and I'm like, no. I want to plant like as many opportunities for folks to, and then like getting all the poison, putting in a cave. Like that made me sad, but that was.
They improv that one. I'm
Yeah, 100%. And I'm like, I'm just gonna plant it and see what happens. But that was my main success metric. For sure.
Great. What would have happened if we all died?
Oh, I've thought about it a lot. Thank you for asking. Because not all of you can die. One of you would still be alive, and
Yeah.
we are scheduled for as a 6-week show. So I always say, if there's one person left, they will get a trophy. They'll get the $1 million, and then we would leave them in the woods, and I mean in the wilderness, to survive for however many weeks were left. It would just become man versus wild for a little bit, and you would
That's
just
so
play
funny.
Castaway
So
straight up.
funny.
That's
That's
Well,
fucked up.
insane.
Deeply,
That's
That's so
insane.
That's
fucked
hilarious.
up.
And we
deeply
reserved that
funny.
village
That
down
way
the
it's
road
just
for like
naked
a,
and
a month
afraid.
and a
I
half.
don't want
That's
that.
so fucking funny.
I also realized that like that's unlikely because people are so generous. So thank you again for the folks who are donating, and
Mhm.
like people were obviously very creative in how they use it. So like the likelihood of that happening was unlikely, but it was still something I wanted to try and push for. And I remember messaging Grant about it. I'm like, what if everyone dies? And he didn't respond for a while until like
Sometimes
that
I
answer came.
yeah, sometimes I forget to respond to DMs, or I get asked a question that I've never
Yeah,
contemplated
yeah. I
before.
think
But
it
you're
sounds like the
right. The
latter.
onus of the show is very much so people are gonna donate. I mean, we saw it in the Azza Deasia final fight. They kept fully
Yeah.
healing the two people because their favorite was gonna die. So
Yeah,
they
yeah,
just kept donating back and forth. I think that was Hamna's highest donation week because so many people like keep that maniac alive.
yeah.
You know?
I literally, because Sylvia, thank you, Sylvia, has been throughout this show keeping track of the math for me in terms of how much donations I've been getting so I can match them because I've been matching them like every week. And literally, I doubled the amount that I had raised up until then in that one
Yeah.
episode. And I was like, that's wild. Like,
That's
People love
amazing.
Azza. People,
incredible.
people love a villain. Listen, clearly, oh look at this. So I
'Cause
mean,
even after you die, he
Um,
still had donations to you.
I did, and then I had
Yeah.
to pass them on. Yeah, I passed them to Dennis
Oh.
after because I died, and then like things came in late.
yeah. Thank you, Tiltify. We rely on you so much, and I wish it was more immediate, but alas. But yeah,
Alas.
I remember DMing Ross to be on the show, and I told Jen, I told Sylvia, I'm like, I know that if we put Ross in a season, he's gonna try and kill somebody. I just know it deep in my heart. That's what he's gonna try and do.
Yeah,
Oh.
my biggest regret is that the dice didn't fall in Maddox's favor against Tessa.
I was sad for you.
I was also sad. I was so hoping that you were gonna kill somebody.
Yeah,
I understand that friendship is magic went out in the end, but I wanted more people to die.
but what I am very proud of is like that happened in episode 2, and I feel like that changed. I know everybody had their plans, but like I feel like that changed the wind, and then everything else happened after that, which I think was really great. So very proud of that for sure.
Nate, where did your inspiration come from for this character that you brought?
Let's talk about how Dave was added to the cast like a few weeks before the show started. and
Yeah,
we
I was
speed
gonna
ran
say.
Dave's character development.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Grant messaged me at the end of November, maybe early December, and said, "Hey, someone just dropped from Castaway. Are you good to fill in?" And I said, "Yeah, that sounds fun." So by the time I had my session 0, I think everyone else's character had at least been posted in the Discord. So I got to cheat and look at like all of your characters and be like, okay, what do I think will fit in this cast of misfits? And I was like, you know what? No one's going with the Tundra theme at all, which obviously makes sense. But I was like, I think it'd be a fun character to have someone who's like excited to be in the Tundra, and that's part of why they're here. And then I forgot to make a secret. And so I was talking to Abigail after she got voted off, and she was like, we have this theory on Dave that he's a robot because of something you said. And I was like, oh, that's a good secret. I don't have one of those.
The secret came later.
What were you doing?
Later?
Whoa!
Where you
Wait,
couldn't even come in with it.
That's
Wait, so
so
I'm the
funny.
reason Dave was a
No,
robot?
literally, when you did
That's
your confessional,
insane.
we were like, in the iGopish chat, we were like,
Dave's
is
a
Dave
robot. Because Dave
Sounds
sounds like a robot.
Nate pitched a few different secrets in that session 0. There was one where he was like, "Can I be a sorcerer? Do I have to be a human being?" Like Nate asked a lot of
Nate being a
questions that
sorcerer would
made
have
me
been
look.
fucking great.
I
And,
would,
like,
that would
You
be
should have
really funny.
greenlit that one.
It also, I mean, I did, to be clear, but
I honestly said yes to everything except I think, can I be Frosty the Snowman?
yeah, that was
Oh,
what I was
hesitant on that
A
one.
little tough. One.
No.
He
Great,
was
what
like,
did he run? That's my next
would you
question.
be like okay with being a Yeti instead? And I was like, okay.
Bear Yeti.
But yeah, I knew because I was already cast for the next week. So I was like, oh, in the Castaway universe, there are monsters and cryptids and stuff. So I was asking a lot of questions about what kind of monster I could be.
Yeah, we added Nate to Love After Life months before we added Nate to Castaway,
That's
and
so funny.
and so Nate kind of had insider info, knowing that hey, Love After Life, there's going to be like a little bit of a cryptid subplot thing going on based on what Taz, the Jim of that show, had said. You'll learn more about that next week. So Nate kind of had the heads up that that was a possibility, and then it occurred to me during that session 0, I didn't tell the other 9. So that might change going forward on Castaway.
Should make for some interesting characters moving forward.
I've been informed that Love After Life starts this week, not next week. It's on Wednesday.
Oh,
Time is fake,
yeah.
and my brain is bad.
Sunday is at
Time's
the beginning of the
fake.
week, is at the end of the week. Who knows?
Who knows?
It's the
The
beginning.
answer,
June.
yeah, it's both,
Yeah.
and that's why it's bullshit.
The answer may surprise you.
Yeah.
What, Taz? Stop.
What else you got for us, Gwen?
That is most of what I had for you. So
Oh, solid.
mostly
Here I am thinking we're just taking up your time.
no.
Cool.
You guys are way more succinct than I expected you to be.
We even got a
Honestly,
killing
same.
in.
Which is insane considering
We
how
did.
bad the back chat is.
This is a group of yappers.
Wait, question for
can-
Grant
I can
then.
certainly pull. Yeah, you can ask me questions. I'm down for anything. I wrote the whole damn fucking
Yeah,
show.
that's true.
Oh, I have a follow-up question after Taylor's.
Sure.
Yeah, so since Chet got killed, right, in the heart of the wilderness, correct? So does that mean the
No, we're in
woods
stu-
get blessed?
We're in studio.
Okay,
To be
and you
clear,
act like
Teddy
the
was not going to
wilderness
do this
can't
in the
follow.
wilderness.
You act like it can't follow. That's not
There-
how
there
Yellow
is-
Jackets work like that.
If you paid attention,
That's
there
true.
is a mechanical lore reason why killing Chet would not have given you a wilderness reward. Think about
he's a
how
clone.
think about
Yeah,
how
because
all
of
the
his
other
soul.
characters have to die, and think about how this Chet just died.
Dang, I try to help you out the woods.
Oh, and I also never said that that rule applies to the woods.
Yeah, and then we could have made a canon because you didn't apply it, so it wasn't a no yet.
I
Okay, I
never
don't know
said it
enough
applied
about
to
the
the woods.
lore. Can you
Sorry,
give us the
season
answer?
4.
Why
All
why
right,
is
season
killing
4.
Chet
I
hard?
tried to help a homie out.
I will say this one thing: the sacrifice mechanic we decided very early on was going to, quote, for some reason only apply to the tundra. So there's something up with that part of the world where if you kill someone there, it rewards
So
you. The woods, not so
Callous.
much.
Okay, but what about
That's
you
so
said something
funny.
about Chet though. What is it about Chet?
Chet dies different than the PC characters.
Yeah.
Oh, because he keeps coming back as
He
someone
also
else?
dies differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you don't have
only
a
took
you don't have
one
a
roll.
D you don't have a D12.
Chat rolls with
like,
a
thingy.
D12.
But that's just it. Like if I hurt you, you didn't go down, right? Or no?
I didn't go down to
But
a
I mean
D10.
that's like all of the other animals too,
Hmm?
right? They roll a die and then
Yeah, weird.
Chet's a moose. That's the.
But the animals did.
But
But the animals did lose a die. They went down to D8 because wolves stayed alive.
If you beat an animal, then they just die.
Yeah, it's not
Cheddar's
like
got
a
that
like a
dog in
tiered
him.
thing the way it is.
Oh, it
with
wasn't?
people.
How did the
No.
wolf live?
Yeah.
The wolf never got hurt.
Did I not stab it? My bad.
No.
No, you didn't. No, you
I
didn't.
didn't.
You told it to
You
go
re-
away.
you-
You communed
You
and then told
rebuffed
it
its
to leave.
attack,
Yeah, you
and then it
communed with
went
them.
away
But-
because you told it to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because Ozza taught you how to commune with the wilderness. But yeah, Chet dies the same way animals do. There's a lore
Yeah.
reason for that. I'm not revealing it here.
Ooh, secret.
Boo. What if we get chat to donate another $100 to get us to 2,000?
Get us to
Reveal it then?
2,000.
I'll reveal one Chet secret for $100.
Oh,
Chat,
you do it.
you
You
know
can do
what
it.
to
Come
do.
on.
We don't
do
have
it.
any
You
incentives.
heard the
We don't
man.
have any more prizes. I do want Grant to tell us the secret, though. Please.
Listen,
Open
there's
your
a
hearts and
lot more
open your
Castaway
wallets.
seasons planned. I gotta hold on to some cards.
No, it's like, all right, Chad, make it to $2,000.
It's-
I get to
it's
host a
fine.
challenge in the woods.
Yes.
Because the people paid for it. So
This
we
is
can't-
our show now,
Ow.
Grant.
Look, all that you need to know is that some of you died and you're back right now, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Normal. No
Another
one
thing
questioned
where
it
we
during
very,
the
very,
actual
very
in-character
blatantly
part.
said how that works if you're paying attention, but I'm not gonna reveal it here yet either because I gotta hold on to some secrets.
Yeah. It's a lot of work for me, though.
No one said the rituals are easy.
What was your follow-up question, Tori?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Grant, you and the producers kind of spilled that you had bets on who would get voted off first and who would die first, and I would like to know those answers.
Did I not say this in the Discord? Yeah. So
might have.
Meiji
you-
and
I
I
think
think
the
you
people
told
should
us
know
I said it in
too.
the video.
I
Ninja.
did. So the non-jury folks hadn't heard. Okay. Yeah, Mijian and Sylvia do a bit every season where we place bets on who we think will win the season and who we think will die first, apropos of nothing. All we have to go off of is your character bios, your character sheets, and like we kind of guess at who might have a donation advantage based on like how your social media posts do, but we don't really like factor in like, oh yeah, Hamna's do a number, so they'll probably win. Like, no, we don't like do that because it never works that way anyway. But you know, it's fun to be like, well, if they have like, you know, these kind of interactions, people might be more willing to donate to them. But then again, things change during the game. So I will say that my personal predictions, I bet that B was going to win the whole thing, which would have happened if Taylor didn't steal Oz's vote. Let me walk that back, which would have had a better chance of happening if Taylor didn't steal Oz's vote, because Deasia would have gone home that week because it would have been who Ozza voted for.
Oh.
Yep.
So there's your fun thing. And then I predicted that Amanda would be the first to die.
Yeah, fair. I respect that.
because I knew everything that Tori told me. I'm like, this character is going to be insufferable, and I bet somebody will want to try. I think GN was the same thing as me. I think GN also said B and Amanda. Sylvia predicted that Dennis would win and that Maddox would die first, which Sylvia has spared no oxygen in telling me that A, may have been technically correct because Maddox was dead the whole time, and B, would have been right if they just would have attacked Maddox first instead of Dave.
I guess it's the wording. Is it first to die in the game?
Yeah,
Or
it's first to die in the
Die,
game.
period.
First to
But
die. is-
every time I mention it, Jen and Sylvia go, well, technically, and I'm
Yeah,
like, you
yeah.
know better than
That's-
anyone.
That's what I'm
Wow.
curious about.
I
yeah,
also I wanted to make Amanda more insufferable, but I had so much fun with everyone here that I was like, I can't, like, I want to be meaner, but I can't do it. Everyone's so fun here.
That does.
Truly,
tend
that
to
was
be
such
what
a
happens.
struggle
I
for me
can't tell
too,
you how
because I
many
was like, I know
players-
we're on a reality TV show, and I know the goal is to like take each other out and like be like backstabby and stuff like that. But then getting to know all of you guys, I was like, I can't do it. I
That's
can't.
how every
week
season
one,
goes,
that
honestly.
week one vote, I was sitting there and I was like, I can't do it. I
Yeah.
can't fucking do it. I was about to have a panic attack. I was like, I can't fucking do it.
My
I
goal is
threatened
to
Abby, don't look at
Grant
me
for
like
lunch
that.
1 week. I threatened to eat Grant
Abby.
for lunch 1 week during
That's
a
true.
vote.
But I don't think I've ever seen a player struggle
Yeah.
more to vote their friends off than Jenna. I would have to get like 7 to 9 preliminary messages from Jenna that was just them being mad at me for putting them in the situation.
Fully knew that I put myself in this when I agreed to be on the show. I was like,
Actually,
oh, it's gonna
bonus fun
suck.
fact about Jenna. Jenna was an alternate for the desert because we were worried we were gonna lose someone the week of, and Jenna was just down to fucking clown that day. And I think about that sometimes because the desert had a vote every single week
I was
because they
like,
didn't
put
kill
me
each other.
fucking in. Oh god.
Didn't kill each
That would have
other.
been my actual night. I would be like, oh no. And I also spoiler texted all of my votes so that I didn't have to look at them because I felt bad.
That's true. I had to physically click to see who Jenna was voting. This is a
Very
fun.
funny.
That's what happens every season on Castaway, though. I've had people come in being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be bloodthirsty," or "Oh, I want my character to be a villain," or "Oh, I want to
I
really
thought
lean
I
into
could.
the reality
I thought I
TV thing."
could.
And then you play with each other, and it's fun, and you're friends, and then you're like, "Oh, I have to
Everyone's
tell someone I don't want to
great.
play with them anymore."
Yeah, and everyone's talented and amazing, and you're like,
Mhm.
I was trying
And
to kill
you're
somebody in the first episode, and I'm like, no, I don't
and
know.
like in a lot of cases, you're making new connections too, because some people
Totally.
come in not knowing anybody or the vast majority of people, and you're like, "Oh, that makes it easier." And then you hang out with them for a few hours, and you're like, "Oh no."
Yeah,
I
dude.
think I am perhaps the anomaly because I'm the kind of sicko who bonds with people by PvP in game. For me, that's actually really fun. Like one of my absolute dearest friends in the whole world right now, C. Thomas of Transplanar fame, they and I met during a charity one shot we did of For the Queen. We had no session 0 for that show at the time. It was like years ago. And we just showed up and immediately we were like, and we ended up going like PvP, like we ended up going at each other in For the Queen,
For
and
the
it
Queen
was
doesn't
just
even
the
have
most
PvP.
Oh, it does if you make it. And it was the most magical feeling. And like immediately afterwards we were like, we have to keep playing together. We have to keep playing together. Like I think for me, like this kind of thing is actually a lot of fun. And I think that I personally learn a lot about other people as people and performers in conflict, like in a game, and I actually think that that shows a lot about a person. And so for me, it's like I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but I personally find that in like a role playing setting that that is where I feel the most like yeah, like let's mind melds connect kind of thing.
I think there's a lot of truth to that, considering how close Ozza and Deja got, even in that final fight, where you were like happy for each other, and like how complimentary you two as performers have been with one another behind the scenes the whole time. Folks, I gotta tell you, you are allowed to DM each other behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure the only two people who took active advantage of it every week were Hamna and Taylor, because constantly and the Ozza Deja group chat is banana land.
It was so much fun to role play with Taylor. I gotta say, it was a fucking blast.
I had so much fun. I really did too.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you something great. I said I hope you're entertained.
It
Or-
took
or it-
everything in me to not interject with like the popcorn emoji in all of your group chats, truly. But I'm sitting there
I
being
do
like,
remember one.
I was very
message-
I was the sickos meme, but from KC Green like every week, constantly like yes.
I remember waking up from a nap and the message from Grant was "punch her in the nose" in all caps.
Yeah, okay,
Okay,
so
wait.
they did a dramatic role play
No,
moment.
wait, I need to
off
tell
camera.
everyone.
Please tell the story,
Okay, wait, I need to tell everyone. And I'm so sad, Taylor, that you didn't tell me beforehand you were gonna add it to your costume because I would have done the same thing if I had known. But
It was very
okay,
last
so
minute.
that's so fair. But basically what happened is that Blue brought Taylor and myself into like a group chat and then was like after Dave died and then was like, "So alliance?" And you know, I was like, "Okay, maybe, sure." Like, you know, I gotta feel out Taylor though. I don't know. I've seen her play. She's kind of, you know, like I don't know if I can trust her. And so I was trying to get Taylor to like prove in character that Deasia was like like believed in the wilderness and was like aligned to it and stuff. And so I was like, saying how like the wilderness rewards blood. And Taylor as Deasia was like, what did you say exactly?
I said, I believe I said punch me in the nose because they're like she wasn't gonna do the handshake or the palm blood bending, so she's like punch me in the nose.
Yeah, it was like just straight up immediate, and I was like, oh. And then I was like, well, I am the freak that I am, and I was like, no, it's not enough to just punch Deasia. So I ended up as Azza. I headbutt Deasia so that both of our noses broke, and then we like that's where later, if you see one of the episodes, Azza talks about their blood intermingling. Like that's when that happened, which was so. I was like, I'm unwell. I'm unwell.
Ruled.
It was
That was
great.
a great idea, Taylor.
Thank you. I just couldn't shake your hand. I'm sorry.
Well, neither could Tori or Amanda.
Love that for us.
God, I love Castaway.
Couldn't shake hands for various reasons.
It was so funny.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's actually funny because I actually got a DM from Tori like after Amanda was voted out, being like, "I'm so sorry that I couldn't shake your hand as Ozzy. It's because Amanda was a hologram," and I was like, "Oh, that's okay."
I couldn't reveal the secret so soon. It's like from the get, episode 1. I felt bad about it for hours after we were done. I was like, I have to go apologize.
Tori, you're too nice.
I know.
Oh, speaking of too nice, I do often think about because the fact that Amberlynn and Deasia have that big alliance where they're like bonded to each other is because they kept trying to make a deal during the Polar Plunge challenge, which Jenna was like, "No, I'm not. I'm good. I keep rolling, so I'm not shaking hands for a while." Did you have a contingency plan, Taylor? Like, if you didn't lock that in, did you know where your next deal might be?
My next. Oh, so like if
like
Amberlynn was
if
still
like
gonna
would there
vote
have been
out,
another deal to be? Would you have just like, all right, well, fuck her. That's my next target. Like, what did you?
oh yeah,
your
it would
backup
have been
plan?
definitely the Bianaza alliance full on through. 'Cause I would have had no loyalty to anyone else because Dave and Maddox was gone. Well, like when I came back, they would have been gone because technically they was number one. Because Dave, I promised to just protect. Maddox, I promised to not vote out. Was the two of after that. But now both of them's gone. So I had no alliances until Emberlyn brought it up and hugged.
I have a question for Gwen. Since you've been so kind to grill us and interview us here today. Now you also watched every season, not every season, every episode.
I did.
and bias aside, if like, who were some of the characters that you were rooting the hardest for?
Azza. But
yeah, but apart from Azza,
I mean, I wanted someone to get eaten. If we're being honest. And I was also hoping Maddox would pull something off. I also was just trying to figure out what Maddox's deal was. I just want to know so bad.
I think everyone was.
I was so hoping it was a serial killer. I was rooting for that for so long.
We were all kind of really rooting for serial killer, I think.
Yeah.
Could not.
There were a lot of
for a while.
clues in your
Lots of
whole
clues.
deal that made it look like you were a serial killer.
Yeah. I think the early ones were serial killer and werewolf was another guess.
Yeah, werewolf was a
popular
big
one.
one.
We hope Amber.
I don't think you've explained the whole deal with Maddox on stream
maybe
yet.
not on stream. Yeah. So Maddox. I did a little bit when
You mentioned what you are during your final
died.
moments, but I don't think we
Yeah.
get like too in the weeds of it.
Totally. So the whole thing was that Maddox, I guess the picture I had with him was like he was really popular kind of when he was younger, and now that he's an older kind of movie star, that same appeal was kind of dwindling. And like at that age, you would start to do kind of more dramatic, not like drama roles, but like be a little bit more out there with things, right? So like, Leo DiCaprio doing The Revenant, right? Like, or Liam Neeson doing Taken. Like they were dramatic actors, very handsome, and then I'm gonna be a fighty guy. So his thought was that he took on a role for kind of a thriller drama called Under the Frozen Tree, and then he went early to kind of figure out how to live in this environment, and got separated from his crew and ended up dying. And then his creature, because I am a Filipino mythology nerd, and I'll always try and insert that as well into my characters, is that I don't want to use like a common Filipino monster, or something a little bit more obscure and something more modern, because I wasn't. I'm usually constrained by the pre-colonial kind of mold, so I'm like, oh, let's use a modern one. So there's a modern ghost ghoul monster in the Philippines that came up during World War II. That was a result of Japan invading and not having the respect to kind of deal with the dead bodies and whatnot. So they just rolled them in woven mats and then kind of threw them on the side of the road. And then the monster comes up from this, these ghouls and ghosts that arise that are covered in these like rolled mats called benigs, and they try and seek revenge. So my thought was like, oh, Maddox died in his sleeping bag, and kind of same mentality, but instead of seeking revenge, he sought companionship, or I guess revenge against his loneliness, and that's why he wanted to keep as many people there as possible. And also, like, I also thought, like, oh, what if like a movie star didn't keep their distance and wanted you to find them? I'm like, that's a really good lure to ensure that people will die with him. So every time he died afterwards, I kept mentioning like, oh, come find me, come find me. But that was the big kind of big thing with him. So the monster is called a Pasat Sat, which is the that World War II era ghoul from the Philippines.
Yeah,
It's so cool and so
cool.
uniquely like you. What's
Yeah. I did take some like liberties, as I often do with the kind of my interpretation of these monsters. Like we had to find a way to make it so that this ghost ghoul could look like a human. So his physical skill was a subterfuge. So this idea of like using makeup and whatever to look like a person. And he had to be able to be killed again. And I'm like, that moment when Maddox decided to jump was more on me as a player than kind of a in fiction reason, because I had no advantages left. Like there was just no way. Dave was gone. Deasia was coming back, and I knew that I had more tools as a ghost than I had as a player. So, which ended up working right away, because the following challenge, when B had a D20, I used my ghost dice and I knocked that dumbass advantage out of the game, at least for that one time, and then came back. But I have a personal vendetta against that D20 because like that was used so much against our team.
There were so many secret advantages donated, and
yeah,
Gwen's seen the numbers.
I've seen the numbers.
Even for me, keeping track of who had what and where, like,
yeah,
I don't encourage this by any means, because I do keep pretty good tabs on it. But there is certainly a point in the season where I'm like, at this point, anyone could tell me they have a D20 right now, and I would probably believe them. There's so many floating around at a certain
missing
point.
knives all over
Oh,
again.
dude.
I know where all the knives are. I was very particular with the knives.
No,
Because in the desert, I lost a knife. I forgot where one knife went.
Lost a knife?
Not Grant losing
That's
knives.
crazy.
Maybe it's somewhere in the
Gian-
wilderness.
Knife.
Maybe it's somewhere in
No,
the
it
woods.
sounds like their papers aren't in order, actually.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
papers
sounds
are
like-
out
Whoa,
of
whoa, whoa,
order.
whoa! The
Emails
papers
are-
are in
their
order.
knives
The
are-
knives
Who
were
knows?
not.
Papers are absolutely in order. Inbox is not in order.
No knives.
Emails
who
are
knows?
kept in a different server.
I kind of like made it a bit towards the end of the desert because, like, the winner has a knife and gives it to Chet, and it's like, I want you to give this to someone who needs it on the next season. Hence why B gets that secretly donated knife at the end of episode 1.
Totally.
And that
Love you,
was a
Kenny.
callback to my own bad memory because Chet at the end of that season goes, "Oh, this isn't one of ours. I don't know where this came from." So Desert just had knives lying around.
Yeah, the secret advantages was crazy because in the fight between Ozzy and Deasia, I had 6 advantages, but I promised myself once I hit D6 once, I was not using any more secret advantages. So during that fight, I had 4 left, but I stopped using them after I hit D6.
I might nerf those next season a little bit.
Honestly,
They are really powerful.
They're
Yeah.
really
Super
was powerful.
Well, so the secret advantages, I even nerfed them a bit for this season because in the desert and the island, there was a secret advantage. The block of vote and steal of votes were secret advantages for a while, and they got too beefy. So I just made let's just make them mechanical things. But and it's always random. I roll a d4 behind my screen and give you whatever it lands on. I kept rolling ones. The d20 advantage is the 1 on my list, and wow, they're useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to make them less swingy, because I do think that like the secret advantages were like a big swingy mechanic.
Yeah.
You could nerf them a little bit more.
Yeah. Listen, I turn the knobs every season. I came out of the gate saying like the Tundra's gonna be the hardest one. It's gonna be easier to get conditions. I'm nerfing the advantages. It's only 2 skulls this time that I'm going to hide, plus the auction skull that I always hide every season. And there's a lot where I'm like, yeah, we definitely upped the difficulty of this. I very quickly learned that making a condition every time you fail in episode 1 made a lot of other roles very out of reach. So we turned the numbers down a little bit after that one. But I think there's a lot of areas where we succeeded in upping the challenge level, and a lot of other areas where I would like to turn the knobs a little bit more, especially because the woods is going to be more blatantly a horror season.
I still have beef with the fake skull.
I was just gonna say, can we talk about the fake skull real quick?
Can we talk about the fake skull on a nat 20?
That was fun. That was a fun.
Whose skull is it?
The man
On a
you
nat
are.
20, getting a fake skull was crazy work.
That's
That
so
is
funny.
crazy
I
work.
love that
There's a
moment.
piece of me that feels bad about it, Taylor, but there's another piece of me that's like, that's great TV.
And it was great.
It was. It was great TV.
It was great.
It's
true.
It's like, let's talk to Kendo about it.
So the fake skull, my plan for the fake skull was always, once every skull has been found, that one is in play. And to Taylor's credit, Taylor was very immediately distrusting of it, but she never said the secret phrase for the skull, which is you can analyze it to figure out if it's real if you make a mental roll. And all Taylor was suspicious, but she never really acted on that suspicion. It was always going to take a high roll to find it because I wanted it to be the same level of challenge as finding an actual immunity skull. So yeah, a nat 20 found it, which, as a game design standpoint, I felt a little bit bad. And then I remember it's Castaway. Production is always fucking with you. So that's where that came from. The origin of that skull. Listen, when I first devised this show, I did not think we were going to be 3 seasons and 2 one-shots deep and that people were going to keep adding to the lore. But there is a canonical reason why that skull is there, because in the one-shot, Castaway Callus Connor, that happened right before the Tundra started, Dusty Hill from Gauntlets and Gaze reprises their season 1 character, Callus, because at the end of the island, Dusty could not make it for the live jury vote because they were on vacation or had work or something. So they filmed a clip of them saying, "Here's who I'm voting for," that we aired live. And because Dusty's in Chicago, it was snowing. So they're like, "Hey, I'm like somewhere really cold. They just shipped me out here and told me that I had to say who I'm voting for." And that little tidbit had been sitting in the back of my brain for like a year. Like, why would Callus be there? So when I knew the Tundra was coming up, I approached Dusty because we were doing a charity streamathon for the show. And I was like, what if we just kill Callus, like once and for all? Like give your character the third appearance on Castaway, because Callus appears in the podcast version of Castaway from back in the day. And like we just give you this big send-off. So at the end of the one shot, Callus dies. We learn their real name is Kyle. All of their secrets revealed. All these ghosts haunt them, and then wolves eat them and leave behind their skull. So I knew that Callus's skull was just going to be in the Tundra waiting for someone to find it, and somebody would find it and try to play it as a real immunity skull, only to learn that it's a real person.
Damn.
It's deep.
The
And
lore.
I was
and Dusty
I was
loved it
so
so much they
scared.
made their own game for the 48 word jam called You've Died in the Tundra. So that's why
I
Code
was like-
Callus is on the skull.
I was so nervous because you dropped that really suspicious like screen grab into into chat one day. I can't remember if it was just Tundra chat or like the general chat, but I was just like, wait, no, Dusty's. I was nervous you were gonna bring Dusty on here to haunt the rest of us as like a
Oh
fuck,
no,
as like a
Dusty's
fucking
ghost
bit.
has a whole other responsibility.
Oh, that's amazing. I hate that. Thank you so much.
You might see a lot of the ghosts again eventually one day.
Listen, are you ever truly gone?
No. You died
Mechanically,
3
yes.
times, guys.
In the language of the game Castaway, it says if you spend
Yeah,
all your
no,
ghosts die, your memory vanishes from the world.
Yeah, but we move different here.
We move different here at Saturday Productions. We are not subject to the laws of man or God.
Hey, thanks for having me. This has been lovely. hey, thanks for Castaway. It's really fun.
Thank you for Castaway, Grant.
I love
Thank you for
this show.
Castaways.
You know,
This
I
was
think
this was something I was very excited for when you came to me about it, like last summer, because I just remember watching like The Desert. I think was the first real season I was like following like in real time, and I was like, oh my god, this is like so fucking good. And then Grant slid into my DMs and was like, so Tundra, and I was just like, please put my name on sign me up.
I begged Grant to be in season 3.
It's true.
I wrote 20 strongly worded letters to Grant when I heard
That's also
Castaway-
true.
When I heard Castaway was real, and I said, me, the reality whore in this place, not getting casted. I was like, where is my invite?
Every cast. So we've cast 30 different people for this, 40 if you count the Woods, which is an absurd number of people who A, want to do this, and B, put their whole ass into it. And I never take for granted the fact that I get to work with and ask talented people to do this show and raise money for good causes. And I get to take big swings on people and also pull in some of my friends from the AP scene. By virtue of doing the pod, I've met over 100 cool people and can very realistically do Castaway until I die on camera and Sylvia takes over for me. But this was definitely the first time where people like Abby, like Taylor, like Nate, like Ross were in my DMs being like, I want to do this show so bad. And it's still happening. I have so many requests, like people asking me that I love and respect as creators, wanting to do the show, that I have to keep making more seasons so I can fit them in.
Oh no, more seasons of
What
Castaway.
a
Take it
shame.
too juicy, Lobster.
What a
fucking
problem to
shame.
I know.
have.
It's
I
crazy.
literally
What a
just got
god
out of a
damn
chat with
shame.
Jen and Sylvia where we locked in the next 3 seasons worth of concepts.
God damn it.
Probably 4, considering how bloodthirsty the Woods chat already is. So
Oh, fuck.
I'm eternally grateful I get to do this. I'm very grateful that people like Hamna can get the ravings of a crazy white man in their DMs and say yes to the thing they're pitching. Because in a lot of other contexts in this scene, that'd be a hard no.
I will say.
Hello, you
that-
don't know me. I'm white,
Yeah.
straight, and a guy. Do you want to kill each other?
I will say, before this, Grant and I had interacted a total of 0 times? I
had
did
just been
not know
seeing
Grant
I've been
before
seeing
this.
Hamna from afar. I've been a Hamna fan. I'd watched Transplaner. I'd been a big like day one Laurie's House fan. Was a pipe dream person for me for a long time. Like a few people in this cast have been. And then just by sheer luck, I was on my phone on vacation and saw Hamna lamenting about the circle. And I was like, fuck it. You're going in.
I'm
Like
so
we
glad
did
you
follow
did.
each other. So like we're
Yeah.
mutuals. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's crazy I get to do this. I'm so grateful for everyone doing this. Um, an incredible cast, an incredible season. I hear people saying it all the time, and I'm not being facetious that this was the best one yet. I'm inclined to agree. People from other seasons are like, I loved my season, but the Tundra fucks, and I'm like, it does. You're right. So you know, it's the culmination of a year of learning, and we're still doing this, and I'm gonna do this probably forever now. Cool, great. Gwen coming on to do this. I was telling my wife of this morning. I'm like, I've been wanting to do something with Gwen forever, and by sheer chance and circumstance, I put Hamna in the show, and then Hamna's like, my partner would love to do this. And like, I would love your partner to do this. I've wanted to work with Gwen forever. So, you know, and I feel that way about, you know, like we have Jenna motherfucking Daggers on the show. Tori makes one of my favorite Lord of the Rings actual plays. I told Taylor when we were in the same cast chat for like 2 seconds when Castleton was happening that I've been a Spunky Taylor fan, and I love Nate on Roll D5 and Ross. I've
Don't
told
lie,
Ross
Grant.
I love.
We all know that I was a last minute fill-in spot.
Listen, you were gonna be on the woods until I needed to get another person in there, and I was like, "Fuck it, I like working with Nate. Nate will do it." Abby's been asking to do Castaway since Castaway started, and we finally made it work. You know, so I'm just I've been fucking Blue from Batty Bards is a huge get because Batty Bards is an incredible fucking show, and I'm grateful
And
like and that
Eliza from Hilarity Saves.
Yeah.
Another ringer that came in almost at the last minute.
Literally, Anna and I have been in each other's orbits forever, and then finally our schedules cleared up enough that we could do stuff this year together. So like everyone here is a rock star in my mind, and I say it all the time. I'm glad anyone does this show for any reason, but I'm especially grateful that people come on here, love it, talk about it, and keep watching. And you, the audience, literally, we had like 50 plus people every fucking week in here donating to charity and helping people and learning about new people that they weren't aware of in the AP scene. This is the shit I live for, right? Bridging gaps, helping people, raising portfolios and platforms. You know, if I'm gonna have a platform by circumstance of my birth, I'm gonna fucking use it the right way. So thank you all for being here for the ride.
And truly, thank you, Grant, for bringing us all together.
Yeah.
Handing
It
flowers
says,
to
it
you.
says a lot about your craft that you have made something that people so eagerly like want to hop on and do like time and time again. And I think that just like amounts to the goodwill you've put into this community and also your creative genius and just how you bring the best out in people. And I think this cast is like a testament to that. And I'm very lucky to have gotten to be such part of such a fucking stellar and talented cast. And I have said that week in and week out after we close. I love all of these chuckle fucks so much with all my heart, and it pains me that this is the last time we're gonna be on screen together, but
I
hopefully
guess we'll just have to hang out in the
For
Castaway
now.
Cuddle Cabin when we finally
For
build it.
now. Pass unplugged. We're gonna make it. It's gonna be a thing.
And also, Grant, you always make a safe environment table, so that's why I love to be here on Game Master Monday every time.
Totally.
You invite me.
I also do
Ah.
want to like super highlight the fact that we raised $1,900. That results
And
into
then another like 700
Plus
for Minnesota Freedom.
Plus, exactly. So, very specifically for Feeding America, that's 19,000 meals. I was just doing like quick math. That feeds 1,500 families for like 3 meals a day. Like, how incredible that we could, talk about cannibalism and Passat sets and robots and AI and do all that stuff. And at the end of the day, we're like making an impact on real people. So I think that's the thing that I'm most proud of, that we all like our whole ass went into it, not just because we want to create something great, but that we as a community were able to do some really amazing things. So very grateful for that.
I am too. And I guess just to blast through all the hashtags the Tundra generated this season. Rar, I got this.
Yeah.
Justice for Lori.
Justice for
Justice
Lori.
for Lori.
I'm a
Hell yeah.
princess.
I'm a princess.
I was like, wasn't there a
Uh,
ship name for Maddox and Dave?
Hua hua home.
Hoa hoa
Hoa
hoa.
hoa.
This is a joke I stole from Abigail that she very kindly put in her reel to hype the show.
Yeah, I put in my reel to hype the show that Grant stole my joke.
Yeah, thank you for that. Personal favorite from Tori, Jesus Christ, Hamna. No, holy shit, Hamna.
Holy
So again, thank you all for being part of this, both you as players and performers, professionals, you as the audience for donating, Gwen for hosting, Jen and Sylvia who keep my head on my neck and make the machine work behind the scenes. Literally can't do cast without those two. And really just the scene in general. The world is hard and cruel and run by sycophants and pedophiles apparently, but the community is still going to rally together and fight back and do as much good as we can. And I'm glad that in even this capacity we are able to do that, and it's cool to see people not being defeated by that just yet. So we're going to keep it up. We'll be back in July for the Woods as we raise for the National Immigration Law Center, which is a cause very dear and near to my heart as the child of an immigrant and the spouse of one. And we're gonna keep it rolling. Wednesday, Love After Life is raising funds for Planned Parenthood, which has again come under fire this week. So we're gonna do everything we can to do everything we can. And I think that's enough of me talking because Gwen is hosting this and I am just going.
Listen, I'm gonna let you gush about the things that you're doing. Really, I just want to say that I hope you guys are all proud of the stuff that you've done. Like, you really made a very, very cool show. You've done a lot of good work. You've raised a lot of money for a really good cause. And yeah, I mean, you put up. I was just a fan of the show. I was just here to watch. I was just like, I'm seated. My Wednesdays.
Gwen's here to stir the pot.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Can we take a minute
now we wait patiently to
just
see
talk
if we can
about
get
how
Gwen to the
cool
woods.
the overlay is?
Jen's
Yeah, like,
overlays.
so fucking
Oh yeah,
cool.
speaking of
That
which,
overlay
yeah.
is so
Claps for
good.
Chien.
That's all
For the
Jen. That's all
sick
Jen. Did
fucking
you see the
overlay.
Easter eggs? Like how you have the little graves with the little individual.
I was looking at the
It was
Easter eggs every week.
amazing.
Every week
I was
it's something
zooming
new and
in.
it's incredible.
I was looking at everything.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Incredible
that's
We love you,
it for us.
Chien.
Gang, that's it for the Tundra. Join us Wednesday for Love After Life. It's going to be hot
And spicy.
The return
And
of Dave Bishop.
Why is it
I
spicy?
come see
wait
Nate
for
play
that
Dave
one.
for some
Dave Bishop
reason.
Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Hashtag not my Dave. I don't know who that one
Hashtag
is.
not my Dave.
Not my
We need to
Dave.
start an
Hashtag not my
investigation into
Davina.
shadowy productions
Not my
because
Davina.
how is a dead man
No, we
on the
don't.
show?
That's a good
Not a
character
dead
for the
man, a
future.
dead bot.
There was a dead man on
Don't
this
worry
season.
On the trailer, did I see a Minecraft person on the trailer?
Yeah.
I love
And I'm rooting.
For those of you who are
God, I
sticking
love
around, we're
Keats.
gonna run a
Keats is
quick
great.
ad, a little preview for you for Love After Life, so you can hear what the fuck they're all talking about. And then afterwards, we're gonna be rating our pals over at Apochromatic, supporting their Black History Month stream. So stick around, or else.
Or else I
We
will
still
write
have
a
knives.
strongly worded letter on
We
Threads.
still have knives.
Yeah.
We still have knives.
I do. Don't make
Sure.
me use it.
I get to
Oh,
keep
for
them.
the-
Closed for a reason.
For the last time from the Tundra, everyone, have a good night, and we'll see you Wednesday.
Premiering February 18th from the creators who brought you Castaway. Get ready for Love After Life with your first ever Eternal Love match.
Hey, I'm Anthea, and I'm looking for love after life.
Thea took the world by storm in 1971 alongside her band with the release of their first album, Covet Rust. For the next several years, Covet Rust led the charts with mellow rock hits like Soft Sky and The Roots That Tether Me, making Anthea a name to remember. While she didn't say much about her personal life, she certainly kept the tabloids guessing with late nights and a noticeable closeness with her bandmate, drummer Summer Bailey. But it all came to a halt in 1985 when Anthea disappeared from the scene and seemingly the world. But in 2008, we heard chart topper Let Me In alongside a commercial for synthetic blood. It's been 17 years since then, and Anthea has had the fame, the fortune, the parties, but what she's looking for now is a love that lasts forever.
I don't want chocolates and roses. I'm looking for someone who would die for me. And that takes sacrifice.
Hello, everybody. My name is Your Ghost Dent. I am a 43-year-old family medicine practitioner in the great city of Kansas City.
Hey there, I'm all packed up for the first season of Love After Life. I should probably introduce myself. My name is Sloane Stark. I'm a professional athlete.
I'm Emily, pronoun she, her, 28. I am sending in this tape to hopefully be part of the show. I've been one of Anthea's biggest fans.
Hi, I'm Inks. I'm a model, a content creator, and technically an influencer, but mostly I'm someone who gets invited places.
My name is Dave Bishop. I am, in my day job, a biochemist. And for fun, I like to do some spoken word poetry and dabble in the arcane arts, creating magical elixirs.
I'm used to being the most interesting person in the room, and Anthea feels like someone who wouldn't get bored, and that immediately caught my attention.
If I had dreamed 1,000 dreams, I never would have dreamed that this would be the one that came true.
I just want to find love. I'm looking for the one, and I got a good feeling about Anthea. I do. I just want to learn more about her.
Really would just love the chance to meet Anthea, and I think I would be, maybe, hopefully, a good partner to her.
If that sounds like something you're ready for, give me a call. We'll set something up.
Honey, I didn't come this far just to leave hungry.
Feel like this is a sign. And maybe it's finally time for me to open up a little bit and try to find love and make this dream come true.
What's up, gamers? I have to admit, this announcement's a little unusual. It's still your boy Keats. But this time, I've got an announcement for one banging goth babe in particular. Anthea, I hear you've been looking for an immortal companion. Trust me, it doesn't take eyes of thunder to find this beast. When I tell you that I'm the alpha you're looking for to sit next to you for the rest of your life, you're gonna see it when I come and rock your world.